55.1 billion ringgit allocation for budget 2023. Sarawak gets 5.6 billion ringgit and 55.2 billion ringgit set for education. Those are the headlines for tonight. You're now with me, Shosha Meto, and this is TVS Nightline. The unity government, led by Prime Minister Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim earlier today, tabled the highest nation's budget worth 388.1 billion ringgit, of which 289.1 billion ringgit was allocated for operating expenditure and 99 billion ringgit for developing expenditure, including 2 billion ringgit for contingency savings.
Anwar, who is also Finance Minister, said in line with the expanding fiscal policy, the allocation for development was increased to 97 billion ringgit compared to 71.6 billion ringgit last year.
Peningkatan ini adalah untuk menumpukan program membasmi kemiskinan, baik pulih prasarana awam dan desa. Dengan pembaharuan tata cara perolehan kerajaan, akan dipastikan perbelanjaan tambahan ini dimanfaatkan sepenuhnya untuk kepentingan rakyat.
He said this when tabling the budget 2023 in Parliament today. This was the maiden budget tabled by the unity government. Meanwhile, Anwar added that Budget 2023 will be the first step to explore the Malaysia Madani Development Framework, which focuses on 12 main initiatives based on the 3 objectives, namely driving an inclusive and sustainable economy, institutional reform and governance to restore confidence, and social justice to reduce imbalance.
Budget 2023 has been touted as an all-inclusive budget to date, giving big allocations that will relieve many sectors. As such, a total of 12.1 billion ringgit under Budget 2023 has been allocated for Sabah and Sarawak. For Sarawak, an allocation of 5.6 billion ringgit will be set aside, while Sabah is set to receive 6.5 billion ringgit.
Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, who is also Finance Minister, said the allocation will include rural development plans for areas bordering Kalimantan, Indonesia, such as Kalabakan in Sabah and Bakilalan in Sarawak. Additionally, plans at a total cost of 1 billion ringgit will serve as measures to connect with the new Indonesian capital in Kalimantan.
Itu lebih 2.5 bilion ringgit disediakan bagi melaksanakan projek-projek melibatkan prasarana awam yang kebanyakannya untuk manfaat Sabah dan Sarawak, melibatkan projek jalan dan lampu jalan serta bekalan air dan elektrik. Kerajaan komited meneruskan menyegerakan pelaksanaan lebuh raya Pen Borneo Sabah dan Sarawak dan Sarawak Sabah Link Road dianggarkan melibatkan kos keseluruhannya 20 bilion ringgit dengan jajaran lebih daripada 1,000 kilometer.
Meanwhile, UNIMA's Faculty of Economics and Business lecturer Dr. Zul Hazwan Hussaini opined that such an approach would strengthen the relationship between Malaysia and Indonesia, as well as strengthen the regional economy in Sarawak.
The budgetary allocation for Sarawak has gone up from 5.4 to 5.6 billion. This, in my opinion, is the most recent agenda that the Prime Minister looked with him when he just visited Indonesia. He wants to take the first step towards establishing effective road connectivity with Indonesia in order to strengthen the regional economy, which the people of Sarawak unquestionably benefit from. This is a wise choice.
The Ministry of Education is set to receive a total allocation of 55.2 billion ringgit, a significantly higher amount than the previous one received by the ministry, which was 52.6 billion ringgit in 2022.
Out of the amount, a total of 2.3 billion ringgit is set aside to ensure the best infrastructure and facilities in all schools in the country.
Naik taraf bangunan serta infrastruktur di 380 buah sekolah yang telah diumumkan dan kerja-kerja menyelenggara kemudahan semua jenis sekolah merangkumi sekolah kebangsaan, sekolah agama, sekolah jenis kebangsaan Cina dan Tamil.
Anwar added that schools with special needs students will be equipped with disabled-friendly facilities as well as an auditorium to provide comfort during an assembly.
SMK Dudong was among 7 new schools to be built throughout the country under the 560 million ringgit allocation.
Ada tambahan sekolah-sekolah baru yang besar termasuk mencecah hampir setengah bilion ringgit keseluruhannya, termasuk Sekolah Kebangsaan Paya Dusun, Terengganu, Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Denal Alam, Selangor, Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Nabalu, Sabah dan Sekolah Menengah Kebangsaan Dudong, Sarawak.
A 20% discount offer on the National Higher Education Fund Corporation or PTPTN loan repayments will be valid for the next 3 months. Prime Minister Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the discount will start from March 1.
Berkait tentang pinjaman PTPTN, kerajaan bersetuju untuk memberikan diskaun bayaran balik pinjaman PTPTN selama 3 bulan bermula 1 Mac 2023 sehingga 20%.
Anwar also added that in order to ease the financial burden of affected borrowers, the government also agreed to defer repayment for borrowers with a monthly income of 1,800 and below for a period of 6 months. The application to defer the repayment can be made come March 1st.
In addition, the revised tabling of Budget 2023 brings good news for civil servants, with special Ideal Fitri assistance of 700 ringgit for civil servants of grade 56 and below, including those on a contract basis, and 350 ringgit for government pensioners.
Selain RM350 juga akan disalurkan kepada pesara kerajaan.
Apart from that, Anwar said the government also agreed to allocate special allowance to all members of Malaysian Search and Rescue Team, SMART, involved in the mission in Turkey and Syria.
Baru-baru ini saya umumkan tentang kehebatan, pengorbanan SMART, NADMA, ATM yang telah ke Turki sebagai contoh. Kita hadapi masalah sikit untuk sampai ke Syria. Jadi kerana mengenang jasa mereka yang bekerja, kita akan pastikan jumlah bantuan allowance khas RM100 setiap hari mereka bertugas. Dan ada yang 2 minggu, ada yang 1 bulan.
Following the increase in the maximum golden handshake or replacement rest days, GCR, from 160 days to 180, the unity government has also agreed to increase the early redemption of GCR to 50% or 90 days.
Coming up right after the break, Budget 2023 receives positive feedback from ministers and Ukraine commemorates 1 year of invasion. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back. Now for some updates from the Parliament in Kuala Lumpur. Let's get our reporter Muhammad Yusuf for his report earlier.
Here in the Parliament from the get-go, 4 p.m. Even before the Prime Minister arrived here in the Parliament, it was already busy here and there. And personally, before I present to you the report, personally, I feel like the budget is very comprehensive as it addresses many of our concerns in Sarawak, including dilapidated schools, road problems especially, and of course the development of rural areas. And similarly, our Deputy Prime Minister, Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof, he was specifically appointed to champion the construction of the Pan-Borneo Highway and the Sabah-Sarawak Link Road. And let's see what he has to say, because he directly held a press conference right after Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim tabled the budget 2023.
Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri menyebut secara spesifik tadi, saya untuk menerus menjaga khususnya pembinaan Pen Borneo dan juga lebuh raya yang menghubungkan Sabah dan Sarawak. Di mana diumumkan 20 bilion diperuntukkan untuk meneruskan Pen Borneo Sabah Sarawak dan juga jalan hubung antara Sabah dan Sarawak. Dan saya telah diarahkan tadi secara spesifik untuk melihat memastikan ianya dapat disiapkan dengan seberapa segera yang boleh. Untuk itu saya bagi pihak rakyat Sabah dan Sarawak mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri serta kerana meneruskan projek ini dengan peruntukan yang begitu besar sekali. Begitu juga dengan peruntukan khusus kepada Sabah dan Sarawak diteruskan 6.5 bilion untuk Sabah, 5.6 bilion kepada Sarawak. Manakala untuk peruntukan di bawah 11D, Sarawak telah dinaikkan kepada 300 juta tiap-tiap tahun. Ini akan membolehkan untuk kita menyegerakan segala kemudahan pembangunan di Sabah dan Sarawak itu sendiri.
And moving on to our Minister of Works, Datuk Seri Alexander Nantalinggi. Of course, his concerns was mainly on the development of rural areas and roads, similar to what the concerns that was said by Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof. And specifically, he is more concerned about the implementation of these construction. And of course, he was pretty happy when a big budget was allocated for his ministry to address many of these problems. Let's take a look.
Pertambahan projek-projek pembangunan untuk luar bandar. Jadi kita ada difahamkan 1.5 bilion ringgit yang ada untuk jalan luar bandar di Sarawak ini di Kementerian Kemajuan Daerah Desa dan wilayah ini, tapi disalurkan mungkin pelaksanaan menerusi KKR ataupun JKR. Sekurang-kurangnya ada peruntukan sebegitu besar yang bermakna lah saya bagi. Cuma ia terletak kepada pelaksanaan. Kita berharaplah dalam pelaksanaannya nanti kita bergantung kepada syarikat-syarikat yang bekerja-kerja ini buatlah kerja-kerja mereka dengan terbaik lah.
And up next, our Minister of Women, Family and Community Development, Datuk Seri Nancy Shukri, shared a video on her social media account. And although she was, I wouldn't say disappointed, but I would say the allocated budget for her ministry was not up to what she was expecting, but it was a big achievement. It was a big achievement that a specific institution or a specific body or agency was approved to be established to address problems that concerns children in Malaysia.
Ya, saya tersenyum kerana amat berterima kasih kepada Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri kerana telah mengumumkan bajet yang begitu baik untuk kami. Mungkin tidak begitu banyak, tetapi yang amat baik, terutama sekali apabila diumumkan penubuhan institusi untuk khas untuk entiti untuk kanak-kanak, dan yang lain-lain itu insya-Allah akan kita kongsikan lagi. Namun begitu, terima kasih kerana banyak kerja yang telah dilakukan oleh petugas-petugas kita, pekerja-pekerja kita, dan semuanya telah mengharapkan pengumuman yang baik ini. Jadi saya ucapkan tahniah juga kepada pegawai-pegawai kita. Terima kasih Yang Berhormat Perdana Menteri.
And last but not least, one more thing that will definitely be an excitement for many Sarawakians who live in Kuching for now is when our Minister of Transport, Anthony Locke, said that there will be a bus, a project bus, which will be it's implemented without any limit, just by paying a price of 50 ringgit. Anyone can use the bus service without any limitations. Let's take a look.
Bermula dengan satu projek perintis untuk perkhidmatan ataupun inisiatif PAS perjalanan tanpa had untuk perkhidmatan bas di Johor Bahru, di mana sekarang ini pengguna-pengguna ataupun penumpang-penumpang My Bus Johor bermula bulan April nanti akan dapat juga melanggan PAS bulanan ini sebanyak RM50. Mereka boleh menggunakan bas tanpa had. Malah untuk Kementerian Pengangkutan, kita juga akan mensyaratkan ini sebagai salah satu inisiatif yang mesti dilaksanakan oleh semua pengendali di bawah skim SBST ataupun program Stage Bus Service Transformation SBST, iaitu untuk perkhidmatan My Bus di seluruh negara yang akan kita laksanakan satu persatu. Dan program SBST ini akan dilanjutkan ke Melaka, Kuching dan Kota Kinabalu. 3 bandaraya ini akan mendapat program ataupun inisiatif My Bus ini bermula tahun ini.
And basically that's about it. Although there are more reactions that we got from the ministers right here, but we'll be presenting to you the report more tomorrow, inshallah. And Yusuf signing off from Kuala Lumpur Parliament. I'll see you next time. Monday, of course, the Parliament will resume. Thank you, Muhammad Yusuf and Faizul Kipli and Shah Rizal Kamalul Arifin for TVS Kuala Lumpur. Good night.
As always, this was the report from Muhammad Yusuf, and special thanks for sharing the updates all throughout from Parliament in Kuala Lumpur. Let's hope he has a good night tonight and to return back safely soon, and that the revised budget 2023 will be a light at the end of many tunnels. Now for that, Minister of Education Fadlina Sidek lauded the decision that her ministry will be receiving a well amount of allocation for the budget 2023, as it will be used to improve the standard of education in the country.
Yang menarik juga ada peruntukan sejumlah 20 juta untuk program gotong royong di semua sekolah seluruh Malaysia. Jadi agenda pendidikan dan perpaduan dan juga agenda-agenda yang melibatkan ihsan, hormat akan diterjemahkan melalui program gotong royong ini.
The Ministry of Human Resources will focus on reducing unemployment among women, youth and vulnerable groups. In addition, its Minister V. Sivakumar said a sum of 187 million ringgit will be provided under SOSO as an incentive to employ at least 17,000 TVET graduates.
Untuk menggalakkan wanita kembali bekerja, geran bersamaan 80% daripada nilai gaji bulanan akan diberikan kepada wanita yang kembali bekerja selepas bersalin dengan peruntukan lebih RM290 juta setahun. Kementerian Sumber Manusia menyambut baik kebijakan baru untuk bekerjasama dengan industri bagi pelaksanaan TVET. Ini akan menghasilkan graduan TVET yang memenuhi keperluan industri dan berupaya meraih pendapatan yang lebih tinggi.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Cost of Living welcomes the government's announcement to enact a Consumer Credit Act and establish a Consumer Credit Monitoring Board to regulate the credit business. Its Minister Dato Sri Salahuddin Ayub said the proposal will be able to protect the rights of users and businesses alike.
Hari ini kita menerima satu berita gembira bahawa kita mendapat peruntukan sebanyak 100 juta ringgit untuk program jualan rahmah yang akan diusahakan oleh KPDN, dan secara spesifik Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri menjuruskan ia mesti dilakukan di semua 222 kawasan parlimen bagi manfaat golongan yang berpendapatan rendah, dan saya yakin melalui pengalaman lebar urus kita akan mendapat menjayakan program ini dan rakyat akan dapat menikmati harga barangan asas sehingga 30% lebih murah daripada harga pasaran.
And now on to our world affairs. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky marked the first anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion on Friday, February 24, with a somber message of defiance to his people. Appearing in a televised address, he recalled how he addressed the nation a year ago and described 2022 as a year of resilience, courage, pain, and unity. He also pledged to push for victory in 2023 for his country.
Великі народи великої України. Рік тому у цей день, з цього ж місця, близько 7 ранку я звернувся до вас з короткою заявою. Тривалістю всього 67 секунд. Ми витримуємо всі погрози. Обстріли, касетні бомби, крилаті ракети, дрони камікадзе, блекаут, холод. Ми сильніше за це. Це був рік стійкості, рік небайдужості, рік мужності, рік болю, рік надії, рік витримки, рік єдності, рік незламності, лютий рік незламності. Його головний підсумок – ми вистояли, ми не зазнали поразки, і зробимо все, аби цього року здобути перемогу. Слава Україні!
Officials estimate casualties on both sides of the largest conflict in Europe since World War II at more than 100,000 killed or wounded. Tens of thousands of civilians have also died, while millions more have fled the threat of fighting. With leaders of both countries showing no signs of backing down, the prospects of an end to the fighting anytime soon look bleak. Meanwhile, landmark monuments around the world lit up in collective show of support on the first anniversary of Russia's invasion. Paris lit up the Eiffel Tower in blue and yellow, while in Brussels, European Union buildings, including those of the European Parliament and Commission, were similarly lit up in the colors of the Ukrainian flag on Thursday. On Friday, lights on the iconic Sydney Opera House sails went dark before turning blue and yellow, joining the global display of solidarity. Russia invaded Ukraine by land, air, and sea on February 24, 2022, the biggest attack by one state against another in Europe since World War II.
Paris lit up the Eiffel Tower in the blue and yellow colors of the Ukraine flag on Thursday, February 23, as Ukraine's allies around the world prepared to mark 1 year of the war between Ukraine and Russia. The illumination marks the first anniversary of the war after Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine on February 24, 2022. Ukraine said its forces had repelled Russian assaults along the length of the front line on Thursday on the eve of the war's anniversary as President Vladimir Putin, empty-handed after a bloody winter offensive, talked up Russia's nuclear arsenal. Speaking in Thursday's ceremony, Ukraine's ambassador to France, Vadim Omelchenko, thanked the city of Paris for the gesture. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Cheryl Shamelto. Thank you for watching.